In part 3, chapter 7, the bailiff arrives and begins inventorying the Bovary home. Emma travels to the city in an attempt to acquire a loan, but every banker refuses her. She begs Léon for money. When he can't help, she accuses him of being a weakling. He tries to raise money to help her, but he also is refused a loan. She encourages him to steal it from his office, but he says he can get a friend to loan it to him if she can just wait one more day. As she goes to her carriage, she sees a blind beggar and gives him her last 5 francs. The next morning, she awakens to voices down in the square, where Félicité is tearing down a notice which states that Emma's furniture is to be sold. Emma leaves to visit a lawyer who offers her money in exchange for sexual favors. She curses him and flees. In a last-ditch effort, Emma pays a visit to Binet, the tax collector, but she has no luck with him either. Emma goes to Bert's wet nurse and pleads with her to go to her house and look for Léon, who has promised to meet her there with the money. The nurse returns and says that Léon was not there. Emma thinks of Rodolphe and rushes to meet him at his estate. In part 3, chapter 8 of Madame Bovary, Emma finds Rodolphe sitting by a fire. She asks him seductively if they can begin again. He says he loves her and begs her forgiveness. She bursts into tears and immediately asks for money. Rodolphe realizes she is just there to borrow money from him. He tells her that he does not have any. In fact, he says he is in dire financial straits himself. Emma chastises him and leaves, in despair and in a stupor. Then a final idea comes to her. She makes her way to the pharmacist and asks Justin, Homais' assistant, for the key to the shop. She just needs poison for the rats in her house, she says. Justin reluctantly lets her into the shop, and Emma heads straight for the poison and begins eating it. Justin tries to stop her, but she says that if he tells on her, Homais will be blamed for her poisoning. Charles returns home after frantically searching for her all day and finds Emma writing a letter. Emma lies down and begins to grow nauseated and cold. Her face turns blue and she begins to convulse while Charles begs her to tell him what she ate. She gestures to the letter. He reads it and realizes she has poisoned herself. He calls for Homais and they try to figure out an antidote. 2 other doctors arrive, but the outlook is bleak. A priest is called. Emma begins laughing deliriously, and then, in terrible agony, she dies.